Welcome back to the Coaching from My Wheelchair podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay. Today, we're discussing a topic that's incredibly relevant to all aspects of life: the Optimism Spectrum, balancing hope and reality. We've all been told to stay positive when things get tough. But what if positivity alone isn't enough? Is it possible to be too optimistic? Can optimism ever work against you? Is too much optimism ever a bad thing? Can being overly hopeful backfire? And how do we find that perfect balance between staying positive and being realistic? Although optimism is often celebrated as a key to success, too much of it without strategy or awareness can backfire. In contrast, excessive pessimism can hold us back from taking risks and achieving our goals. The truth is, optimism exists on a spectrum ranging from blind positivity to total pessimism, with a healthy balance in between. Today, in this episode, we will discuss the 3 types of optimism and learn how your level of optimism influences your personal growth, relationships, and career, as well as how it fuels your motivation with hope while keeping you grounded in reality. I'll also give you strategies and practical tools to help you find the right balance between optimism and realism. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to identify where you fall on the optimism spectrum and how to adjust it for maximum impact in your personal and professional life. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's get started. All right, let's start with the basics. What is optimism, and why do we need to discuss it on a spectrum? Optimism isn't just one thing. It's actually a spectrum with different levels. It actually exists on a spectrum, ranging from blind optimism, which is all sunshine and rainbows, to realistic optimism, which acknowledges challenges while maintaining hope. And finally, pessimism, which often focuses on obstacles more than possibilities. Let's break it down. The 3 types of optimism. 1. Blind optimism. Everything is perfect, no need to worry. This is the over-the-top, everything will work out no matter what mindset. It ignores risks, avoids reality, and can sometimes set people up for disappointment when things don't go as planned. This mindset assumes that everything will always work out, no matter what, without effort or preparation. While this type of optimism can boost confidence, it can also be dangerous, leading people to ignore warning signs, take uncalculated risks, or avoid necessary action. Example: someone quits their job without a backup plan, convinced that something better will magically appear. The second type is realistic optimism. I believe in positive outcomes, but I plan for obstacles. This is the sweet spot. It combines hope and positivity with awareness and preparation. Realistic optimists acknowledge challenges, but believe they can find solutions and create opportunities through effort and strategy. This is where hope meets strategy. Realistic optimists acknowledge challenges, but don't dwell on them. They take action, make informed decisions, and keep pushing forward. Example: you apply for a job you really want. Instead of just assuming you'll get it, you also prepare for interviews, practice responses, and have a backup plan. And the third type is cautious pessimism. I expect the worst, so I'm never disappointed. While this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it can cause people to hesitate too much, overanalyze, or expect the worst. Some level of skepticism is healthy, but too much can paralyze progress. This mindset leans heavily on fear and doubt, always expecting things to go wrong. While some caution is healthy, too much pessimism can hold you back from taking risks that could lead to success. Example: someone wants to go back to school, but talks themselves out of it, saying, I probably won't get accepted, so why try? So, where do you think you fall on this spectrum? Do you lean more toward blind optimism, realism, or caution? Finding balance on this spectrum. You don't want to live in a dream world, but you also don't want to let fear hold you back. Now, let's look at how your level of optimism shapes different areas of your life. For personal growth and resilience, too much blind optimism. You might ignore warning signs or avoid personal development because you assume everything will always work out. Too much pessimism. You might avoid taking risks altogether because you fear failure. Balanced approach. You acknowledge where you need to grow, but believe that with effort and strategy, you can improve and succeed. Real life example. A coaching client of mine, Sarah, always assumed her career would just fall into place. She believed the right opportunity will come along, but wasn't taking steps to make it happen. Once we worked on realistic optimism, she updated her resume, took networking seriously, and within months landed her dream job. Now for relationships and communication. Blind optimists often believe that all relationships will magically work out, even when red flags appear. Pessimists may push people away, assuming the worst in every interaction. Balanced optimists maintain hope in relationships, but also set healthy boundaries. Real life example. If you're dating someone who consistently doesn't show up for you, a blind optimist might say, "They'll change." A realistic optimist would say, "People can grow, but they have to show effort. Am I willing to wait, or is it time to move on?" And for career and leadership. Overly optimistic leaders make big promises, but may fail to follow through. Pessimistic leaders micromanage because they don't trust their team. Balanced leaders. They motivate with hope, but set realistic expectations. Example. A manager setting goals should say, "Let's aim for 20% growth, but if we hit 15% and learn from it, that's progress too." Alright, let's get practical. Here are 3 key tools to help you balance optimism with reality. Reframe negative thoughts the yet method. Instead of, "I'm not good at this," say, "I'm not good at this yet." Try this. Each morning, write down one thing you're working on. Instead of saying, "I can't," say, "I'm learning to." Practice powerful self-talk every morning. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to move forward? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst, the if-then strategy. If I don't get this job, then I will seek feedback and improve my skills. If my business struggles, then I will adjust my marketing plan. Try this. Write down a dream goal, then create an if-then backup plan. Surround yourself with balanced thinkers. Seek out mentors, colleagues, and friends who inspire you, but also keep you grounded. Optimism grows in the right environment. Try this. Write down 3 people who positively influence you, who challenges you to be better, not just comfortable. Build a circle of people who inspire you, but also challenge you to think critically. Alright, before we close, here are some frequently asked questions. Can you be a mix of optimism and pessimism? Yes, the goal is balance hopeful, but aware. The goal isn't to eliminate pessimism, it's to make sure it's not stopping you from moving forward. What if I struggle to stay optimistic? Start small. Celebrate small wins and practice positive self-talk. Is it bad to always expect the best? It's great to expect good things, but always have a plan in case obstacles arise. Alright, my friends, let's wrap this up with a challenge. Challenge of the week. Identify where you fall on the optimism spectrum. Try one of today's strategies to balance your mindset. Remember, true success is about balancing hope with action. If this episode resonated with you, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and future episodes. As always,
you can also buy a copy of Coach Jay's book, Coaching from My Wheelchair: Tips, Tidbits, Tools, and Strategies for Improving Your Personal and Professional Self-Development, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. You can also connect with him on social media, on Instagram at TWCCSLLC, and you can also find him on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and through his website at therightcoachingservices.com/podcasts.
thanks for tuning in, and remember to stay educated, stay informed, and learn something new. Until next time, this is Coach Jay.